So this is a UFC Fight Night 170 recap. I didn't give out a prediction, but I'm only going to talk about the fights that stood out to me in the main card. So I had Johnny Walker winning by second round knockout, and he was absolutely um beat. I didn't really stay around for the scorecards. I'm pretty sure the 30-27. He was he looked pretty weak on the ground. His opponent, whose name I can't pronounce at the moment, but he was pretty good. He controlled the fight entirely on the ground. I don't think it was that boring, but yeah, huge upset. Um, so everyone's saying that Johnny Walker's got to beat John Jones, but after seeing that fight, John Jones was just murder him on the ground. Johnny Walker was on the ground most of the fight, so yeah, huge disappointment. But anyways, next fight, Damien Maia, Gilbert Burns. I had Gilbert Burns winning by second round knockout, and that's exactly what happened. The only reason is because he has excellent jiu-jitsu skills as well. Definitely not on the top tier as Damien Maia, but Damien Maia's, I'm actually surprised he tried to throw some strikes and stand with him for a little bit until he went for that single leg. And he got knocked out second round, and he tried to argue it after the fight, but there's nothing to argue about after getting hit with that. He just looked definitely uh, unconscious, but he wasn't. He was definitely heading that way though. So yeah, good knockout by Gilbert Burns. And now for the main event, I had Kevin Lee winning. Knockout in the third, and it really didn't go that way. Charles Olivera, super underrated. I don't know how the MMA community has slept on this guy. I've been seeing him for a long ass time, and he's really impressive. I think it's been years since he's gone to decision. He either stops the fight or he gets stopped, but I think he has a huge, what is it, 7-8 fight win streak right now. Pretty impressive if you ask me. And I think it was a pretty good fight. They were going back and forth. They were trading. They did some scrambles here and there. And Kevin Lee's looked like he started to gas a little bit to me. And I thought Kevin Lee was going to win because he missed weight by, 2.5 pounds. But yeah, and his move to TriStar, this would be his second fight, moving to TriStar. And man, I can't believe he lost like that. He his stand-up game isn't near. He was landing some shots on Charles Olivera, but Olivera was pretty much boxing him up. I think in the second round or third round, he came out with the flying front kick or whatever, and he hit Kevin Lee with some front kicks, like 1 or 2 times to the face slash chest. It hit him like right here and kind of like on the chest. So Olivera, I think by this meaning, he's definitely gonna go up in the ranks now. I think him beating Kevin Lee, who has been choking a lot lately, says a lot about Charles Olivera, and he's definitely making a name for himself in the lightweight division. Like I said, he's super underrated. He has great jiu-jitsu skills. He choked out Kevin Lee, and after the fight, Kevin Lee acted like he didn't tap. Maybe he was unconscious for a second because right after the ref stopped the fight when he tapped, he tried to get Charles back, and Charles just kept going. He just kept walking, like it didn't bother him. Kevin Lee was definitely, I guess, out of it, you could say, because I guess he didn't remember he tapped. But usually when I see people being choked out, and I used to go to the gym, they would stay out for like 5 or 10 seconds. Nothing so quick like how Kevin did. He tapped, and immediately he went. They stopped the fight, and he went like if he didn't tap and trying to stop Charles. So that's pretty interesting to see. And yeah, don't sleep on Charles. I like to see him fight Ally Quinta next, and then we'll see where he really stands in the lightweight division. But where does Kevin Lee fit into all this? Shit, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if the UFC releases him, but I don't think they should, because I like to hear the shit that comes out of his mouth. Is pretty funny, and I still think he has some talent. It's just that he needs to tie up his striking with his wrestling. We all know he's a good wrestler. He took down Tony Ferguson, but damn, man, he really needs to work on his striking. Yeah, he head kicked. His last fight, he won by head kick in the first round off a wrestler, someone who's not really known for striking. So there's a bit of a, you could argue You could argue that it was kind of like a gimme fight for Kevin Lee, even though Gregor Gillespie wasn't a huge um, striker, not a big danger on the feet. But I think Kevin Lee losing to Charles Olivera really sets where both fighters are at. And Charles Olivera is just a bit better than Kevin Lee, man. And I can't wait for his future fights.